There's been a lot of transfer talk, hasn't there, in the last few days, linking Inter with Christian Eriksen of Spurs. How likely is this to happen, do you think?
I think right now every option is possible for Eriksen because he only has 6 months left on his contract at Spurs, and if Spurs want some money, they will have to cash in now in January. And obviously he, I think, has his mind already onto another club, whether it's now or at the end of the season. He showed under Mourinho that he was not playing much, but when he was coming on, I think he was being decent, and I think he's been a great professional. However, I think he'd be very tempted to go to a club like Inter, still obviously qualified in the Champions League, still in the race for the Serie A title, and I think Eriksen will bring a lot to this Inter side, who we've seen with Barella and Sensi, for example, have that sort of creative touch. But I think Eriksen will bring even more creative touch to that team. Will bring another option for Antonio Conte, and I think he'd be obviously a cheap signing and a very interesting signing for a club like Inter. For other clubs as well, he's been linked with a lot of clubs in Europe, both in Spain and in Italy, and also in France with PSG, for example.
Jules, a lot of people wondering whether Frank Lampard and Chelsea are going to have to make some signings in January. Moussa Dembele is a name that's been linked with them recently. What do you make of that?
Yes, it's an interesting one. I believe they've made contact with Lyon, and that maybe an offer has arrived, or already at least some talks have been happening between the two clubs. Lyon are adamant that Moussa Dembele is not for sale. I think the player himself would like to come back to England. You know, remember he played for Fulham before going to Celtic, where he had a huge impact in Scotland. Chelsea want another striker. Olivier Giroud is on his way out. He will leave the club in January, so they want another striker to have a bit of competition for Tammy Abraham and to a lesser degree to Michy Batshuayi as well. And I think Dembele is a player that is still very highly rated by a lot of clubs in England, Chelsea and Manchester United included.
Nubel is younger. Neuer has had a string of injury issues over the last several years that has been maybe surprising that he hasn't quite played as consistently. So we'll see. But Neuer's only 33. So, and you think in goalkeeping terms, you know, he's got plenty of time left. So it's an interesting decision. Yeah. But when you're a free transfer and Bayern Munich come knocking on your door,
yeah, it's hard to say
it's
no.
Very hard to say no.
Yeah. It's funny that. You're asking the goalie if it's all right if we bring another goalie in. How weird is that?
Well, you know, Julien, were you surprised?
No, not at all. They've been linked for a long time with Nubel. He, like the boys have said, he's on a free as well. So it was a no-brainer for Bayern. It looks like it could be a bit of the Gigi Buffon and Wojciech Szczesny first spell before Buffon went to PSG. At Juventus, for example, where Nubel would be, at least at the beginning, the number 2, and we learn from Neuer at training, and we still play a decent amount of games, and then maybe slowly but surely he will become, let's say, number 1 bis, for example, and then will maybe take over Neuer. I think Neuer, with the injuries that he's had, and maybe hasn't really got back to his fully best, and Nubel certainly, despite that red card that we saw that was pretty shocking, has been excellent this season with Schalke.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.